Welcome back everyone to JJ Central's DIY channel. Today we have a new addition to the stable, a 2010 Mercedes-Benz E350 4MATIC with W212. So this is a wonderful car, a daily driver forever, will run for 200,000 miles, but it's got some problems here along the way. So that is why we are here to fix it and show you how to fix it. Got some codes and we will read that and start fixing one by one. So this can be the daily driver for the next couple of years. So let's get started. The check engine light is on, so running a scanner, a regular scanner, brings the code P0410, which is secondary air injection system. That's what the regular scanner shows, but if you specifically do a Mercedes code, it'll say secondary air fan or something like that. We'll check that soon. But there are 4 codes in here, and all 4 are pending codes, and they're all the same exact one. So that is what we will be checking first. And now let me connect the better scan. Before we get started on the pump, let's check the fuses and relays. So here's where your fuse box is. I opened ready, and this orange fuse, a 40 amp fuse, is the one for the secondary air pump, and this relay right next to it is the secondary air pump relay. Don't confuse with this. It's the one on the corner for W212. Now what you can do is you can take the fuse out and check, or put a multimeter across these 2 terminals and see if the fuse is okay or not. In this case, I'm just gonna try it gently and visually inspect it. I don't know if you can see clearly, it's broken in the middle. So that is sign that says, pump did something to overload the system and it is blown. So I'm going to replace this fuse, and I'm also going to replace this relay just for the sake of replacing, because it came with the unit. So this was provided with the air pump. So I'm going to change this relay as well. Right, went and got a new fuse, 40 amp, same exact replacement. And we're going to slap it in right there and hope that all our problem goes away. All right, so that is done, and the pump is next. Right, that comes off, and it's right there, the air pump. That's what we're going to be replacing today. Ideal to get the OEM Bosch. It's slightly more expensive than the cheaper alternate versions. Let's get started and remove this. Right, then detach this hose. We can remove this if needed. Pull the clip in the back, make sure that's free, and then it comes off. Oh. It's a T30 bolt coming off. Alright, the next bolt is way down there. It's a normal bolt, 8mm, so that we can take off this entire bracket. So 2 bolts, one up here and one way at the end of the bottom there. It's out. One hose, 2 electrical connection, press and pull back. Now that it's easier to get to the back of the bracket, we could have access to take those 3 bolts off and unmount the fan from the bracket. All right. 2 bolts are out, 3rd one down there. Loose enough. The reason we have to take this apart separately is because this bracket is attached to this bracket, and there's too many to deal with. So just loosen it. We're taking off this 1 bolt and then 3 bolts for the fan itself. All right, let's take this apart. Open it up. Sheesh. No wonder. Look at that. Yeah, definitely water. Moisture garden somehow failed the fan. All right, let's get back to putting the new one in. Hopefully it doesn't happen again. All right, putting the new one back in there. 3 hoses, 2 on either side, and 1 intake in the front. And the electrical is straight back there. So put the orientation correctly and hand start the threads. Basically do the reverse of taking it apart. So those 3 bolts basically keeps this to the bracket, and then we tighten the bracket on the bottom and the top 2 bolts. You can't do this without T30 small ratchets, so ideal to get a ratcheting T30 wrench. Right, and electrical goes back in. Click hoses from here to here, and here to there, and then the front. All right, top bolt goes in and at the bottom. Right, it's a little tight on the bottom, but that is where it is. And start it, and then you can do 8mm. Alright, then tight on the top. We have it a little loose. Now, the old one had plenty of water inside, and I believe it's somebody pressure washed it or cleaned the engine, and through the air intake, the water got into here and filled it and ruined the motor. We're going to replace the entire thing now, so hopefully it shouldn't happen again. And also the purpose of this, it's going to blow air into the exhaust manifold all the way, getting the catalyst burnt properly so that there'll be less pollution. Basically, that's all it is, and we have replaced it. We'll see if the cord goes away. And finally, we attach the intake hose, so air gets in through the air filter, comes in here, sucks it, takes it to 2 channels, both banks, and goes through the exhaust. Everything done. Now we just have to put back the top cover, air intake, and that's it. One done. Okay. There it is. All right.
Open your garage door and start your car.
All right, all done. All right, that's it. Just have to put the top cover on and job done. Let's check how the vehicle runs now. Mounting the cover back on. Already running pretty smooth. Right, next step, cleared the codes, meaning there was only one code at that point. And now just have to drive 50-100 miles and see if any code pops up. So I've been driving around after the fix, and the car drives so smooth. The revs are perfect, no lags, the idling is good. So it's getting better, definitely much different than how it was before the fan or the air pump change. And then also the battery light is not coming anymore because we swapped the battery as well. If you want to check out that video, you can do that as well. The only thing left is changing the cam sensors. And cam position sensors are something of a code that was sitting in there from a very old code, but I would just like to change it anyway because it's a known problem for these cars. And apart from that, car is driving beautiful, and that is all for today. And please subscribe if you can and support me so I can bring more content like this to you. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.